Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. So I'm going to be giving you guys a very exciting video. I've been getting comments just like these and I think it's time for you guys to finally get my signature makeup routine. Please ignore how dry I look right now. I literally just washed my face, but I think we're gonna go ahead and jump right in. I don't really have much to say. So yeah, let's go. The first step to any good makeup routine is obviously skincare. So first things first, you want to start off with just spraying your face with some water. This is water in a spray bottle that I have, so I'm just gonna go ahead and spray my face just like that. Oh, that's like everywhere, hold on. Next, I go in with the On a Leaf 77% soothing toner, and I just kind of put this in my hand, a few drops. Well, that was more than a few drops, but I'm just gonna put a good amount and rub it in your hand and pat in your face for even distribution, just like that. Next, I go in with this skin softening serum. I don't know the brand. I think it's the Numsine. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but you just want to take this and kind of just go like that. Put a few drops on your nose, your forehead. Oh, I got it on my lip a little bit, and on your chin. I honestly really like this serum because it does exactly what is in its name. It softens my skin so much and it literally gives me the most like dewy and glowy base for my makeup, which is literally perfect. Next, I go in with the Sujin Hydro Barrier Cream. This is honestly a really good moisturizer if you do have dry skin. Especially for me in the wintertime, my skin gets really dry. So I like to use this moisturizer to kind of bring back the hydration that is needed. Now that skincare is done, we are going to move on to eyebrows. And you guys may be wondering why the hell I have this do-rag on my head. It's literally because my head is looking a little bit atrocious at the moment and I need to go get a haircut. But soon, guys, I'll be looking normal again. I'm just looking a little crazy right now. So I'm very tedious when it comes to my eyebrows. So I like to take any like towel and I just spray it with some water. And I wipe out any excess product that is in my eyebrow already. And I just make sure that my eyebrow gets cleaned out because it does mess with the gel I do use. Just giving you guys a little bit of a trigger warning because I'm going to be looking a little bit crazy for the next like 3 or 4 clips because my eyebrows are kind of just like a trust the process type of thing. But I'm gonna go in with this beeswax. This is for hair. I'm giving you guys a little bit of a secret right now. This is like, I've been gatekeeping this for like the longest, but I think it's about time. Hair gel is honestly so much better than eyebrow gel itself. I feel like it holds a lot more. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna just take your finger and kind of just get a good amount and evenly distribute it through your eyebrows. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera. I know it looks a little crazy, but just trust the process. So you're going to just evenly distribute it. As you can see, it's looking a little crazy, but I make sure to get it like all through my eyebrows. Then you just want to like put your eyebrows how you want them. Me personally, I kind of just put it like to the ends, I guess. I just like use my fingers. Like I don't use a spoolie or anything. But honestly, I feel like a spoolie kind of takes up a majority of the product and it just doesn't look as good. So I kind of just do that. Sorry guys, I'm looking at the mirror like right behind me because it kind of has like a clearer view of my eyebrows. But yeah, now that I have my eyebrows slicked, I go in with this Gummy Professional gel. This is a really good gel for hair and eyebrows. I think it doesn't like go white or like crust throughout the day, and it's honestly a really good gel. So I do recommend you guys get this because it's really good. So I basically do the same thing I did with the beeswax, and I just put it on my finger and put it through my brows. The only thing I do differently is that I don't like rub it through my brows. I kind of just go like this and put it on my brows like that. And I make sure to I try to only put it on my brows because once it gets on like my forehead and shit, I start breaking out. And honestly, look how slick they look, like, period. Looks so tea. Once I'm happy with how slick they are, to shape them, I literally just take my 2 fingers like this, my index fingers, and I literally just go like that. And it like creates like a really good arch, honestly. And I stopped using spoolies a while ago because it wasn't really giving me the arch that I wanted. I feel like the bristles were like really messing with everything. Okay, now that my eyebrows are done, it's time to move on to my primer and base. So for my primer, I use the Rare Beauty, I think this is the Illuminating Primer. It's a base primer, so I literally just take it on my index finger, just a pea-sized amount, and I just put it on my face. Sometimes I put a little bit too much and I'm looking like a honey glazed donut, but that's like low-key the vibe, so yeah. So I just go ahead and rub this in. Honestly, it's a really good primer. It does make my makeup last all day, and it just gives me like a really nice glow, and that's like what I love. I love glowy makeup. And I also love matte makeup, but I feel like glowy is like who I am. Like I just love glowy makeup so much. Like, and it looks really good on me, so for my foundation, I guess, I use the e.l.f. Halo Glow. It's not really a foundation. It's more of like a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury, like skin booster, I guess. So I basically just go like that. Oh god, that looks really bad on camera. Guys, I promise this is my shade. Like, please give me some grace. But yeah, I literally just put that kind of all over my face. And I blend it out with a damp beauty blender. Just make sure when you guys are blending, try to keep this away from your under eye, because if it does mix with your under eye, it may cause creasing. So I tend to keep it away from my under eye as much as I can, while still getting that like coverage and fullness of the product. Next, I go in with my NYX Wonder Stick, and I basically use this side as a bronzer, I guess. I don't really contour, so I use bronzer. So basically you just want, oh, you can tell by the brush, but I use this brush and I basically just go like this because I hate dragging it on my face. Like, it just doesn't look right, and it kind of looks streaky. Even if you blend it out, it just looks really streaky. So I take a good amount of it, and even if I put too much, I can always just go like this. This is like the best part of putting it on the brush first, and I basically just wipe off all that excess. Like, see how much? That's how much would have gone on my face. But I basically just use this to bronze up my face. It's gonna look a little crazy at first, but trust the process again. Now, if you put too much like I did and it's starting to look a little bit like Trump, you just take a beauty blender and you just dab the product, because a beauty blender absorbs the majority of the product. So you're just gonna dab until you feel as though you took off a good amount. Now that you are bronzed up, it's time for my favorite part of my makeup, which is blush. I think I'm gonna go in with this blush. Don't mind how ghetto it looks. I use it a lot. And I think this is the Sheen blush actually, so guys, go cop. It's cheap and it's a really good blush, so I use this. Okay, so when you use this blush, I use this brush, even though this is, I think it's a contour brush, I'm not too sure, but I don't really care. So you take it and you kind of just like dab it into the blush like this, and then you take, oh, that looks a little crazy. Again, back of the hand if you put too much, like me. So you go like this on the back of your hand, and you basically try to put it as high up for that chiseled look, because you don't want to be looking dull, you want to look snatched. So I put my blush kind of high up like that, and with the same brush I just go in with the Makeup by Mario blush. This is their cream blush and it's in the shade Rose Crush. It's such a pretty shade, and I basically don't use too much of this because it's very, very pigmented, like a lot more than this blush I have on. So even if I were to put too much, again, back of the hand, guys, back of the hand. And I basically just take it again and put it on the high points of my cheekbones, just like that. And it doesn't really matter how much blush you use because, again, you're going to use concealer to cover it up anyways. So yeah, so I used that much blush. It's looking a little bit crazy, but again, guys, trust the process. I'm just gonna use my beauty blender to kind of tone down the blush a little bit because I just looked in the mirror and I realized how much I actually had on. So I'm just gonna use my beauty blender to fix it. And then for that glow, I used the Rare Beauty Luminous highlighter. This is in the shade Transcend. It's a liquid luminizer. Sorry, I read that so wrong. And I basically just put that with the blush that I have on my wrist right here, and I kind of just like mix it in. And then I take the same brush, just like this, and I put it on the high points of my cheeks once again. This kind of gives me that glowy look that I love. But we're done with blush and we're going to move on to concealer, which plays a very crucial part in this makeup routine. So the first concealer that I use under my eye is the Rare Beauty. Oh, you can barely see it and it's like running out, but hello, where's the logo? Oh, right here. So you're going to take the Rare Beauty concealer. This is in the shade 410N, and you're just going to put that here like this in my inner corner, just like that. And then I take my Sephora concealer in the shade 15 and I put it here on my eye for a more snatched look. So it literally looks like it's lifted, just like that. And then I go in again with my Rare Beauty concealer and I kind of just put it right here on my face, just like that, again to give that snatched look. So for my under eye, I use a smaller concealer and I basically just go down like this and then go up like that for my under eye. And then for the concealer that's on my like whatever area this is, I don't really know, I take a brush and I literally just bring it down like that, and I try to drag it as far as it can go, but usually to like the bottom of my lip to the beginning of my earlobe is where I try to put it to kind of give that snatched look. And don't worry, we're gonna get rid of that harsh line right there because I know you guys are staring at it like, bitch, what the fuck is that? But don't worry. We're just gonna take a beauty blender and we're just gonna kind of get rid of those harsh lines like I said, because no one wants those lines on their face. Like, it's not tea at all. Okay, so now that we're looking snatched and sculpted, we're going to go ahead and set our under eyes first with a pressed powder. Now, some of you guys may not know the difference between a press powder and a good setting powder. So let me tell you the difference. When you use a press powder, it's supposed to put your makeup in place. When you bake and you use a loose powder, that is how your makeup stays on all day and it remains dry under your eye, you know? Not dry as in a bad way, but it's not as like moist or not as dewy because you have already set with this. So I take a powder puff and I take my pressed powder. This is the pressed powder from Fit Me in the shade 355 Coconut. And I just take it, dab it in my pressed powder. And again, it's gonna look a little crazy. Back of the hand. Back of the hand, guys. So I kind of just do the same motion that I did for my concealer. And I go down at the bridge of my nose and up to the tip of my eyebrow, just like that. Then you are gonna set those harsh lines. Well, they're not harsh anymore, but you're gonna set those lines where that concealer was. So again, with the pressed powder, same product, dab it in the back of your hand and just go like that. I also like to set right here as well because I do tend to get really oily right there. So now that our face is set, you basically just want to go in with a loose setting powder now. This is the Fenty loose setting powder in the shade Honey. I don't know why the lid is not on, but you just take a good amount, like this much. It looks a little yellow, but again, guys, we tap. And basically, whoa, hold on. Okay, so now you're just gonna go ahead and bake like this. The same motion you put your concealer in. You can take a little bit more powder because obviously that wasn't enough. And just bake the sides of your nose. And you're gonna be looking kind of tea. Honestly, if this was normalized, walking around looking like this, I would look like, I would want to look like this. Like, my nose looks fucking tiny as shit right now. Like, it's actually crazy. And I basically just do the same thing right under here. And you should look like this by the end of it. Sorry, I was taking some of my water. But when you bake, you basically just want to leave it on for a good few minutes. And in the meantime, I like to use my bronzer. So I take this Sheen Glam. Again, guys, Sheen has some really good makeup. This is a Sheen Glam Live to Roam palette. And you're gonna take the shade either Mountaintop, depends on how I'm feeling. Mountaintop, I think I'm gonna take Mountaintop. And you're just gonna use your cream bronzer brush. And you're just going to put that right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I went ahead and wiped off the bake under my eye with this brush off camera. And I'm kind of just like taking off a little bit of the blush because it was like not that good. I didn't really like it that much. But now it's time to use another blush to kind of fix it. Now to add back a little bit of color to our face, because after all that setting, it really took away the blush and the cream bronzer. So I'm just gonna take the same blush because I am a cream blush girl for life. Like, I would literally use cream blush on my wedding every day. Like, I don't really like powdered blush like that. I don't like powdered products. But you just want to take the same blush, put a little bit on the back of your hand, and again in the high points of your cheekbones, you just want to bring it back so you can have that glowy look again, and you don't look so like peanut butter baby-ish. Like, you just look very full of life. Now that our base is literally done and it looks so good, and I literally look snatched from the sides, and my under eyes look really good, you're going to go ahead and use your highlighters now. So for highlighter, I like to go in first with the Rare Beauty one again, and I just put it here on my nose, kind of as like a primer highlighter, I guess, for the one I'm about to use. And it literally, I don't know, for some reason this highlighter like goes away really quickly. I don't know why, but I still like to use it. And I put it here as well. And then I take the Wet n Wild highlighter. Don't even ask me about it. I know it looks crazy, but I just take it and I put it on my nose. This is in the shade, bitch, I don't even know the shade. Like, I couldn't tell you guys, but it's like a goldish kind of, like, it just looks like this. And I just use that on my nose, and I also put it right here as well. Now I just go in with my Urban Decay setting spray. This is the all night one, and I think it's the ultra matte one as well. That's what it says. And I just shake it up really well because Urban Decay, let me tell you, I love this product, but every time I use it, some like a milky kind of consistency like pops up on my face, and I'm like, bitch, what the fuck is that? Like, it's not tea at all. So I have to shake it like really well. So after you set your face with your setting spray, it should give something like this, very glowy, very dewy. If you are not a dewy girly, this is probably not the routine for you, because me personally, I don't like my makeup matte. I just look a lot better dewy and like glowy. So I feel like if you like matte makeup, you might like another tutorial, but this is for the dewy girls. So now my eyelashes are looking very bare, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do them off camera, because every time I do my eyelashes on camera, something goes wrong and it's just like not cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera. So I went ahead and did my mascara off camera. If you want to know what mascara I used the Rare Beauty mascara. This is just a black mascara, honestly. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my lips now. Okay, so first I start with Aquaphor. It's like a primer lip, I guess. And I literally just put that on my lip. Ignore all the makeup on my hand, guys. Like, I didn't even see it. Like, it looks really bad. But I basically just put it on my lips just like that. Like a primer. And then I go in with my Summer Fridays. This is in the shade Vanilla Beige, and I just put it like here to give back my lips some color. You guys already know about this lip combo. I've used it multiple times. Okay, so now I go in with my e.l.f. Glow Lip Oil. This is in the shade Honey Talks, and I just put it in the center. Not too much. And yeah, that's my lip combo. And that is it, guys. That is my makeup routine. It looks really good, and I hope you guys did find some tips helpful. And yeah, that's my makeup routine for everyone who's asking. I don't know what else to say, but if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to see any more videos just like these, me giving you tutorials on certain things, just make sure to leave it in the comments down below. But I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, bye guys.